If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. I post a new Tom Brady video every day.
Who has the edge in this game, the Rams or the Bucs, Stephen A?
To me, it's the Bucs.
Sounds like you're saying this game comes down to Wirfs and Wirfs only in his health.
No, not totally, because you still have the GOAT back there who still can sometimes negate shoddy pass protection simply because he's so damn smart and he can process so quickly, and he sometimes knows what you're playing before you even do it. I've seen quarterbacks sit there and go, hey, safety, come on down here. I know you're coming down. Rotate it over. We know you're coming off the edge, and I'm going to throw it right here. Tom can do that to you.
Hey, Tom, what is it about this team? You guys did this last year where you were able to avenge losses from the regular season and the postseason, and now you have the opportunity again with the Rams. And Mike Evans said something to us yesterday, like, I love facing teams that beat us. How do you approach that? Do you look forward to it? And why has this Bucs team been successful in having the right outcome at the right time?
I think that, all these games are a little bit independent from one another. And we played them earlier in the year, and a very different team we had. I think a little bit of a different team they had too. So they're each their own individual type of game. They're going to require their own individual performance and stuff. So I think the point is it doesn't really matter what happened, in October when we played them last. It's really about this game and what we learned from the last game. And anytime you know your opponent, I think that always gives you a little bit of understanding of kind of what they do well, things you wish you would have done.
Damian, the orthodoxy is you have to run the ball this time of year, right? Can the Bucs do it against Aaron Donald and the Rams defense? And if they can't, can they still win?
Well, listen, I don't think the Bucs are going to change who they are. They've been a predominantly passing team led by the arm of Tom Brady. But if Leonard Fournette is available, he does add another dynamic to that offense. Obviously, he's a physical runner, but he also does a really good job catching the ball out of the backfield. So, that would be another weapon at the disposal of Tom Brady, another outlet, as I like to say, because when you're facing a pass rush like the Los Angeles Rams bring with Aaron Donald and Von Miller and Leonard Floyd, you're going to have to get the ball out. And a guy like Leonard Floyd in that outlet coming out of the backfield will be a big key for that Tampa Bay offense.
Ryan Jensen, their center, was at practice today. That is really good news. I was told earlier in the week it was dicey. So the fact that he's out there, obviously good.
We all know that Tom Brady, for the most part, is a stationary target, but we also know he's a savant. He's absolutely brilliant, and he knows how to pick defenses apart. We'll see what happens there. I don't like the fact that Antonio Brown and Chris Godwin are gone, but you got Gronk. You got Cameron Brate. You've got, Mike Evans as well. And when you look at it from that perspective, and you look at a guy like Giovanni Bernard, for example, that can run the football. When you look at Keyshawn Vaughn, who can run the football a little bit.
You've been to the postseason so many times, and it almost seems like it becomes a second season for you after Thanksgiving, the month of December on, when a lot of guys can be not just physically fatigued, but mentally fatigued. For you, how are you able to kind of tap into this extra gear psychologically to where you're mentally firing on all cylinders when the postseason comes around?
Well, I think for all of us, it's, repeating good process is an important part about, getting to this time of year. So you don't do much different. You just do more of what got you here. So the things that work, we do more of, you try to eliminate all the other distractions. And I even told Nelson, I won't do anything extra this week. I just want to do football. That's all I want to do to prepare and get ready. So, that's how we should all approach it. This isn't the time for the, trips to the movie theaters or there's a time to lock in on football because, this is all we have is 3 days left and we got to earn more. So you just look at it like that. Everything you can kind of put off till the end of the year.
Your Buccaneers are coming off a 31-15 win over the Eagles. Tom Brady threw for 2 touchdowns and the defense forced 3 turnovers. What's your biggest takeaway from that game, and were you surprised at just how dominant they looked at, just how dominant this team looked?
Well, I think everyone, including you guys, picked the Bucs to win. So I think winning didn't surprise me. But what I was very intrigued was the health of the defense and getting those guys back. Obviously, for me, it starts with number 54, Levante David. Getting the captain back in the middle of that defense just makes everything go, in my opinion. And you saw a little bit of tweaks with Coach Todd Bowles. He got very creative in how he was mixing up pressures and fronts, et cetera, and confused the young quarterback. And that turned into some turnovers.
Hey, Allie, obviously a big part of things Sunday is facing Aaron Donald and trying to contain him. You guys are lucky enough to be getting him for the 7th time in your 8 years, I think. It's practically like a division rival. How does that help you that you've gone against him and there's not a newness to having to face a guy like Aaron Donald because you've seen him so many times?
Yeah. When you see a guy a lot, like a division opponent that you see twice a year, you start to get a feel for how they play throughout the course of the game. And of course, they get a feel for you. So it just makes the game that you play, the game within a game, a little bit more complex and nuanced and kind of fun.
At the end of the day, that experience, the way the Tampa Bay defense played for those first 3 quarters, and the way we see Matthew Stafford, because as Dan Orlovsky said, he has such a profound belief in himself, his willingness to roll the dice and take chances. Sometimes you can beat yourself. So when I look at the Rams versus the Bucs, I not only take all of those things into consideration, Dan, what I come to is this. Who's the dude who can remain most disciplined and not beat themselves by being a bit risque and taking unnecessary chances? Who could shoot themselves in the foot, figuratively speaking? Yeah. That would happen to be Matthew Stafford. And that's why I think that when you talk about going up against Tom Brady in a playoff game, I would roll with Tom Brady for this one.
Tampa lost to LA back in week 3.
Hey, we're talking yesteryears when that game was. That game was obviously out in LA. It was at SoFi Stadium, all the things that lined up for the Bucs to be upset. Well, this is not the case now. Obviously this is Brady time and that's playoff time, and they're coming home to a team right now, honestly, that's experienced for this moment.
But the game will be in Tampa, where Tom Brady's Bucs average 33 points a game, 2nd best in the NFL.
Leonard Fournette, he wasn't activated off IR last week against the Eagles. He was at practice today. So you got 2 key weapons there back out on the field for the Tampa Bay Bucs.
Yeah, Leonard does a great job when he's in there. And I think his, obviously there's a lot of different things for us in the run game, pass game, blitz pickup. Very dependable, consistent player for us. So he's had a lot of production this year. Other guys really stepped up when he was out, but obviously we all love having Lenny in there. So did a great job in the biggest moments last year. I think everyone believes in him and trusts in him and knows he can really come through for us.
The run defense has always been a strength of the Bucs since this staff has gotten here, so I'm not necessarily concerned about that. But how can Matt Stafford handle the pressure that the Bucs are going to put on him?
Tommy has been brilliant in the divisional round in his career. 14-2 career mark in the divisional round of the playoffs, winning 9 straight. That's 7 more wins than any other starting quarterback all time.
Hey, Tom, in your history, obviously you had so much success in the playoffs playing in your home stadium. This team, so much better at home. I think it's 30 points every game except the Saints. Obviously, it's an advantage that you guys earned this year. And just want to ask you why you think you guys have played so much better here in Tampa at home.
I don't know. It's a good question. We'd want to play well every week, regardless of where we play and who we play. Some weeks are a little bit better than others. And, it's, we're going to have to play great this week. That's the point. This team really challenges you. So I'm glad we're playing at home. There's great communication for us. We're going to have to be really on top of a lot of different things, especially a team does as many different fronts and pressures. They have a lot of different personnel packages. A lot of guys come in and rotate for them. So our communication is going to be really important.
Who's the most important piece of the Bucs defense going into this matchup?
Oh, I would say Lavonte David. It's a very different defense when he's not in. Just the consistency that he brings, with his play and his leadership style, it elevates everybody's play. And his skill set allows Coach Bowles to do something different when it comes to Devin White and take advantage of that young man's talent. So I've always said this, for years, that the critical piece in that defense is Lavonte David, and I would say the number 2 piece is Vita Vea.
Tom Brady's not going to lose this game because he's going to take sacks. Tom Brady's never lost games because he takes sacks.
Yeah, I think the preparation, it just obviously starts as soon as the moment ends, and then it goes right up until the start of the game. So, I don't put it past any of us to come in on Saturday morning or Sunday morning and say, hey, I think we should do this, or I was watching some things on Saturday afternoon, and I think maybe this gives us a better opportunity, because you just got to keep using every minute you have to get to ultimately the game. And, I think it's a really important part of preparation is, once you get the game plan in, you kind of keep refining it and tweaking it, and you always get in a position where it's just, you feel like it's a little bit better, a little bit better, a little bit better. And, we do that throughout the week, and obviously it goes right up till kickoff. So, and then obviously into the game, I think we should do this and as a type of adjustment. So those are all really important things to have at your disposal.
Al, you've obviously played with a lot of tough guys and play with a lot of tough guys right now on that offensive line, but even in the NFL where there are tons of tough guys, how unique is Ryan Jensen in terms of his makeup?
Yeah, Jensen's a special dude. I think that, the toughness and the energy and the attitude that he brings every week is just awesome. Makes it so much. It's just so much fun playing with him, and it's nice knowing that you have guys that are going to compete their butts off every week, and it's awesome to have.
How do the Rams handle the mixed looks that Coach Bowles gives? I mean, whether it's a rundown or pass down, you don't know the 4 or 5 that's going to be coming at you.
Hey, Ali, if you look at the accomplishments of Tom Brady, just in the postseason alone, he's no longer being compared to other players that have played the game. He's now being compared to franchises where he has a chance with 2 more wins to equal the New England Patriots for most wins by a player. Is it just mind-boggling to see what he's been able to accomplish year after year and how every week he seems to be checking off new things?
Yeah, I think like everybody else, it just doesn't make sense to me. It is just next level. I mean, it's just every week it's like they just announce some record and it's usually his record that they broke at the stadium there. It's like, oh, Tom broke another record. So it's just unbelievable.
That's it for this video. I post a new Tom Brady video every day, so please like and subscribe. That way you'll always have a new Tom Brady video to watch every single day.